We're starting with Yasmin, who is not only an artist, a technologist, a computer science wizard, but she's really changed the game when it comes to art and technology, and I will let her take it away from here. Oh, she's still getting mic'd. Oh, you're ready. Come on.
All right, go.
Come.
All right, hello, everybody. Okay. All right, hello, everyone. All right, so on January 25th, 2011, it was a very pivotal moment for me and something that changed the trajectory of my life ever since. What happened was Egyptians were documenting a revolution in real time, and they were doing so using photos and videos on their cell phones and cameras and using social media such as Facebook and Twitter. The world was witness to the front lines of history in the making. We were being exposed to the realities of on the ground in real time. So my partner, Jigar, and I wanted to capture this moment, and we wanted to empower this community of storytellers to tell the story of the ongoing Egyptian revolution in their own voice and using their own media. The idea was, what if a country could write its own history? So we launched 18daysinegypt.com, a web-native participatory documentary which called on the Egyptian community to tell this ongoing story of the revolution in their own voice in one place on this platform. The idea was we wanted to collect first-person narratives of what it means to go through such a historical moment in Egyptian history and collect it all in one place where everyone can help tell the story in a shared experience. We have collected thousands of first-person perspectives, and the stories range from stories about an uprising and politics and death to stories about hope again and falling in love with your country, to stories that were about modern-day heroes and people on the front lines, and romance. Love in the time of tear gas. So what we were trying to do essentially was translate the big story, the big headlines, into the more human, relatable side of what was going on beyond the headlines. We wanted people from 10 years from now, 20 years from now, to be able to go back into anyone's shoes and experience what it actually means to go through a pivotal historical moment in your country's history. What this project really validated for me is something that's very intrinsically human. We're all storytellers. We're all doing it every day, and we're doing it across different digital and social media platforms. Technology is actually enabling storytelling to become a shared communal experience again, the way it should be. Now, I'm a creative technologist that's tech agnostic, and what that means is I believe in story first, and then technology second. So what I do is I use technology to tell stories and build and design experiences with audiences, experiences that are interactive, that are participatory, that are collaborative, projects that are digital or in the physical space, and projects that really think about community accessibility or just put them in the public and designing for the context of the community, in the context of that community. Now, there you go. So what that means is I believe I don't believe in myself as a filmmaker or a director or the role of the audience as the audience anymore. I think that immersive storytelling is removing and blurring that line because this creates a hierarchy that I don't believe in my work. I think we're moving to something more of like influencers and designers where we're actually designing story worlds with rules and constraints and handing it over to an audience that has more agency and full reign over this world. Now, my idea of immersive media is anything that adds a layer of story or texture to your everyday world. Why can't your city become a stage? It can be visual, it can be oral, it could be something else. And that was something we were exploring in this wearable experiment called Here to There during my tenure at Second Story, where we were playing with this idea, well, what if anyone or anything can activate a story around you? By giving the audience complete agency, they can move around wherever they wanted to go, interact with whoever they wanted to interact, and they were crafting their own narratives, unique spatial narratives, just by exploring a space. I believe that technology, emerging technology like VR, AR, and MR is really enabling us to build even more immersive storytelling worlds. And I think what that means, and what's really exciting to me moving forward as we're navigating this landscape, is this is pushing these types of conversations into the forefront, into the mainstream, where all of us have to be thinking about it while we're navigating this landscape. Now, the first VR experience that I ever fell in love with was Gabo Aurora's Clouds Over Sidra, if anyone's seen it. It's a UN VR project, and it's on Verse. And it's successful because they've been able to double their fundraising efforts for Syrian refugees. And for me, that's a measure of success. But the reason they've been so successful is they've been able to translate enigmatic, war-torn country in the middle of the Middle East that no one really cares about into Sidra, this young girl who has hopes and dreams and is just navigating the lot that she's been given. So my hope, and what I hope moving forward, as we're all navigating this emerging technology and building these new immersive story worlds, and what I'm asking of this audience is that we actually think about how do we make all these tools and platforms more accessible and give it to the Sidras. Put it in their hands for other Syrian kids or kids in our own communities or in our own backyards. My hope is that we enable the next generation of story creators, and we empower these kids to become story creators themselves and tell their own stories, build their own futures, whether they're invented or reality. That way it's theirs, it's in their voice, and whether it's real or in virtual reality. And I truly believe that would be truly immersive. All right, thank you so much.